Hello friends, myself Professor Lal Patel. This is lecture series of subject Vehicle Dynamics. So in today's lecture we are going to start with a new chapter, that is suspension. So in this chapter we are going through several parts. Like first part is about suspension, how suspension works, what are the types of different suspensions, main types, solid axle types, independent suspension systems, McPherson type suspension system. This is the all about first part. In second part, we will know about the geometry of the suspension, how different geometry or terminology that affect our overall suspension performance that we are going to check. And the third part, in the third part, we will talk about the how overall suspension system is going to affect my performance of the vehicle. So these are the main three parts of the chapter. So let's begin with the first part, that is all about suspension, how suspension is going to work, what are the function of suspension system, what are the types of suspension system. In the types, what we are going to include different types like solid axle system, Hotchkiss type suspension system. In independent system, we are talking about four-link suspension system, McPherson strut type suspension systems. So these are the topics that we are going to cover in today's lecture. So let's begin with the first point, that is suspension systems functions. So what are the basic functions of the suspension system? First is to provide vertical compliances. What do you mean by vertical compliances? So it stick to the road. Basically we can see that we have to make one suspension system, that is our main aim is to main aim is that the tire is going to stick with the uneven road. So the of the tire, roughness of the road, we cannot affect as much to the vehicle. The second point is maintain the wheels in the proper steer. So we can say that the steering system can not affect by the suspension system. Third point is resist roll of the chassis. So it is like our vehicle is not going to roll with the effect of the suspension system. So we have to make sure about to design a suspension system. Next one is the react to the control forces produced by the tires. So we all know that the tires are producing several forces. We have already talked about in our earlier lectures that lateral forces are there, slip angles that are providing lateral force, longitudinal forces are there. So due to that forces, our that tire is going to affect my overall suspension system. So we have to keep in mind about that forces. Also last is the keep the tires in contact with the road. So for that we have to make or design proper suspension system. So these are the main functions or aims of our suspension system. Now begin with the main two types. So the first type is solid axle type and the second one is independent suspension system. So in solid axle type, here you can see the diagram of solid axle where you will find a beam axle. Okay, here you can see here you can see that solid axle or beam axle that is directly or laterally connected with the by the beam or a shaft from one tire from one wheel to the another wheel. So our main aim is to compensate each and every force produced by the individual tire. So if I'm going to say that the if my left wheel is going to take some load, so that load is going to shift with the help by the right tire also, so that compensation is going to required. So these kind of compensation will be uh, done by the beam axle, rigid axle or solid axle. So this is our solid axle. These yellow parts are the damping parts, that is for the driver's comfort position. Also, we can say that this kind of axle system is used at the rear wheels, but uh, also in some vehicles, this kind of system is going to use for the front vehicles also. In most automobiles, beam axles have been replaced with the front and rear independent systems that we will see later on. Uh, Also, we can say that this kind of system is used in heavy vehicles where the vehicle's load is very high and to carry such amount of high loads. So used on the front of heavy vehicles where high loading capacity is required. As I said, for this system is for heavy vehicles only. Moving further, the second one is the Hotchkiss drive. Again, you can see that the leaf spring is going to use semi-elliptical leaf spring is going to use, and these spring that compensate our different forces. Also, we can say that this spring or this drive absorbs side thrust, driving thrust, torque reaction and braking torque. Also from acceleration force is going to absorb by the spring. Also we have already studied about the acceleration force and braking force that is going to affect my overall spring, and the spring is connected at my final wheel with the help of bracket and shackle, and you can say that the bracket is fixed and the shackle is movable. So leaf spring are simplest and least expensive, so this option is for our heavy vehicles where you will find it very simple in construction and least expensive. So this is Hotchkiss drive, so you can consider it in solid axle. Moving further, four link suspension system. So here you can see that the black portion, that is beam or solid axle. Among these overall part you will find several links like these two links, again these two links and these two dampers. So these are the several links in our suspension system, and each link is going to compensate my individual load. If I'm going to say about my lower control arms, so that controls my longitudinal force that will happen on my axle. If I'm going to talk about upper arms, so that absorbs my braking and driving torques, also the lateral force. So you can say that the upper arms absorbs braking and driving torques, also lateral force, while our lower arms that controls only longitudinal forces. And also you will find these two springs that provides better ride or comfort to the driver. So this is an example of four link suspension system. Moving further, you will find independent suspension system. So these kind of suspension system nowadays very popular because we are using light vehicle or passenger cars. So in such cars you will find these kind of suspension system that is independent suspension system. At front, almost McPherson stud type suspension system is going to use. In rear, uh, also solid axle or dependent kind of suspension system in some cars they are going to use. So in independent suspension system, here we are saying that we are allowing each vehicle to move vertically without affecting the opposite wheel, unlike my dependent suspension system. Independent suspension system, what we will have the first tire is going to affect my the opposite one, but unlike that, in our independent suspension system, each wheel is going to move vertically without affecting the another one. So this kind of system is going to use in all passenger cars and light vehicles. Also, it is having high rolling stiffness. So the rolling stiffness we will talk about later on in suspension geometry. So this is the example of trailing arm suspension system. Here you can see the upper arm and lower arm, and at upper arm you will find suspension system. Also you will find rear trailing arm. So in that arm you will find only one arm that is connected with the suspension system. So there are two types of trailing arm suspension system: double A arm and rear trailing arm. So this is one example of independent suspension system, and that system is not going to affect my opposite vehicle. Moving further, McPherson stud type, very famous and popular nowadays. This system is going to use in our mainly overall all the engine, all the front cars, you will find this system. Uh, in our front vehicles, in our front engine, front wheel drive, you will find such system. So here you can see that the diagram or animation is here. Here you can say that the transverse link, or we can say the lower arm. The lower arm is attached with the wheel hub. Also the top portion of the coil spring, or we can say the damper. The upper portion is connected with the overall body. If you open your bonnet of the car, you will find this connection at that point. So this point is fixed, and this is the transverse link that is movable. So if you find any bump or rough condition, so due to that condition my tire or my wheel is going to move like moving like this portion, and this is my axle. So this is connected with the bearing to the wheel hub, and due to that effect my axle is not going to come out. So this is the example of MacPherson strut type, which is independent type suspension system. Basically coil spring is used to comfort the driver or to comfort the ride. So this is my strut and damper portion. Moving further, the last one, that is multi-link suspension system. So here you will find many more links that are connected with my suspension system. So basically you can see in sports car you will find such arrangement. Like if you are having any sports car, then it is having damper top, that is first link. Also the subframe is provided. So you can say that these frames are also going to react as suspension system. Rear subframe mounting is there. Also front subframe mount is there. Connection between lower arm and subframe is there. So there are several links. You will find these component whole as one, and these different links are going to react as a whole suspension system. So it can balance my overall vehicle, transfer my weight from one portion to the another portion while braking, cornering, turning, accelerating, etc. So this is the multi-link suspension system. So uh, we have talked about different types of suspension system: independent suspension system, dependent suspension system. Thank you.